What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my channel and welcome back to the studio. So a little later recording this one. It's dark, it's raining. Skylar and her friend are over doing homework, so I figured let's go back here in the comfort of my studio with my pretty lights, microphone, and very wrinkled, non-ironed backdrop. So I thought we would do a sort of like a self-help-ish type of video today. I wanted to talk about something that I've definitely struggled with. As always, I want to relate to these things. We've talked about imposter syndrome, where imposter syndrome is, when you feel like you're a phony, like you're pretending that you can be something that you're not. Like, who am I to start a podcast? Who am I to start a business? I'm not good enough for that. So you compare yourself to others. You feel less than. So that's imposter syndrome, and it's lacking in confidence. A lot of this stuff just kind of melds together. But today I want to talk about just fear of judgment. You are afraid of being judged by people. So then that fear causes you to act differently, be someone you're not. Sometimes you're afraid to make decisions because you don't want to be judged, so you don't make decisions. Like, let's look at politics. A lot of people have no fear of any judgment from anyone about who or what side of the aisle they are on. Others might be afraid to talk about that because they don't want to be judged. So if you're a right-leaning person, some people might not want to be vocal about it because they don't want to be judged by the left, so on and so forth, vice versa. But also it can just be character traits. You don't want to be judged, or you don't want to be, what's the other word? Rejected for whatever it is that you say, believe in, look, dress, act, what have you. So being fearful of judgment can just handcuff you as a human, because rather than doing what's good for you and believing in what you want to believe in, you are constantly zigging and zagging, hoping to say all the right things and do all the right things to make the other person happy or not judge you. So I want to talk about some ways I found that you can help cope with this. So real quick, I'm going to go through the 5 and then explain how I relate to them. So number 1 is know your strengths and limitations. 2, resist letting others define you. 3, be aware of your inner critic. 4, make yourself a priority. And number 5, invest in yourself. So number 1, know your own strengths and limitations. There's no better example of that for me than when I became a business owner and decided to scale up my business and hire people and bring other professionals in to make my business better. I knew my limitations. It was very obvious, and it was easy for me to see them now, because in order for me to do the business and make things work, I simply need other people, period. So that helped, figure out my strengths and limitations, which then made me more confident in what I am strong at. And I do that better now. But it's also good to know, if you have setbacks or anything, it's okay. You try to go with your strengths. And if you're confident in those strengths, then you shouldn't have to worry about being judged because you're extra confident in that. Audio editing, a big part of my business is editing audio for podcasts. I was a subpar decent audio editor. I certainly didn't want to be judged for the lack of maybe of the audio polishing and optimizing and what comes along with editing. But I knew my limitations, so I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'll bring someone in that's better at it. At least that's how I relate to this one. Number 2, resist letting others define you. This is a big one for me, and this is where that real judgment comes in. Notice it says resist letting others define you. What it doesn't say is tell people to stop defining you, because there's no winning in that. People are going to judge you, period. But it's up to you to resist letting it happen. You know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me, right? That's why it's been around for years and years and years. At some point, you have to hold yourself accountable to just not let the judgment in, or someone's coming after you, judging you in some way. Just do your best to resist, to not listen to them. So that's an obvious one, right? Well, just don't listen to the judgment. Easier said than done. But at the end of the day, it is something that us, have to work on. Is don't allow someone else's voice dictate your life. If they're judging you and making you feel less than or stupid for a decision, just, hey, again, goes back to confidence. Have confidence in what you are doing. Be aware of your inner critic. I am my own worst critic. Part of it is what motivates me too. There's a secret sauce in me where it's some of the I use some negativity to fuel me. I use my inner critic to fuel me to keep moving forward because I'm hard on myself. So the inner critic can be, well, you can't do that. Talking yourself out of it. I'm big on talking myself out of something. I look 5 steps ahead, and, well, I'm good, but man, once I hit step 3, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to fail at that. So let's not try it at all. So you just give up. And that's all in your head. That's all fake. Now you want to think rationally and plan and make sure that you are, you're walking into something that you have given thought. But, sometimes I've made some big decisions on impulse. Some work, some don't. But talking yourself out of something is something that I do all the time. And again, just kind of be aware of that. Make yourself a priority. Now, some of you that have been watching this channel, I've been doing videos about going for walks, journaling, trying my best to do all these things in the morning. So I start the day off for me. Am I perfect at that? No, I'm not. Sometimes I feel like I get wrapped up in work, so I just got to get right to my computer and I'm not doing for me. Or I might be just feeling lazy and tired and still just not do for me, not go for a walk like I should. But regardless of what it is, you have to put yourself first. It's your life. As a father to my daughter, what good am I if I'm unhealthy and unfit to be my daughter's father? Well, in order for me to be healthy and fit and to be a good dad, I have to make sure I'm taking care of myself. So don't feel selfish. If it seems selfish to say make yourself a priority, no, it's absolutely true. You need to make yourself a priority. What good is, if you're watching this, what good is your spouse, children, grandchildren? What good is it if you're not around? They need you. So in order for them to get what they need from you and you give the support that you should as a parent, brother, sister, child, grandchild, whatever it may be, you got to take care of yourself. You got to be there. So it's important to put yourself first in priority. And then invest in yourself. I like going back to the inner critic on that. Because once you decide and you realize that, you got to stop thinking about the negatives and stop talking yourself out of things, then just invest in yourself. Be like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I am going to accomplish something. Even if I fail, it's an investment. Investments fail. Look at the stock market. People invest money and lose money on a daily basis. But people invest money and become millionaires on a daily basis too, right? There's risk involved with all of this, but just invest in yourself. I invested in myself when I finally decided to start a business. I came to a crossroads in my life where I'm like, I think I can do this. I can do this. I see it, and I'm terrified, and I'm trying to talk myself out of this because I see the 18 different things in front of me that I can't do, that I'm going to fail at, right? Just automatically just assume I'm going to fail at that. But I invested in myself and said, you know what, screw this. I'm getting too old for this crap. Do it. Invest in myself, invest in the business, take the chance. And I did it. And so far it's paying off, still a struggle. Owning my own business has been a struggle. It's hard work, but it's also very fulfilling. And that wouldn't have existed if I didn't invest in myself, if I didn't really make myself a priority. Because at the end of the day, how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to provide for Skylar? Well, I need to work. I need to earn money. Well, I've chosen that I'm going to earn a living in my business. So I made myself a priority in making sure that I did everything I needed to do to make the business happen. Otherwise, we're starving and we're going to live in my car, right? And then this is where I've had to fight that, letting others define you, the knowing my strengths and limitations, and then imposter syndrome, comparing myself to other podcasters and other producers, other YouTubers now that I'm in this space. I'll see some other channels and be like, wow, I'm not that. But at the end of the day, it's just like, I am not that, but I am me. And just because someone might be or appear to be ahead of me in stature, whether their business is bigger than mine or they're earning more money, or it seems like their channel is bigger and better because they're getting more views or whatever it may be, doesn't mean they're bigger, better, or ahead of you. It's just that's the place they're in. And you're doing what you can. And you just keep plugging along. And eventually you'll get to wherever it is that you are trying to get to. So I thought this would be a good thing to talk about because I struggle with this all the time. One of my big bugaboos is as far as judgment is just social. That's really where it's also bad for me, and social anxiety, where I feel like I'm going to be judged whether what clothes I'm wearing. So that's why often I'm wearing just black shirts. You can't be more straight up than that, right? Just black shirt, blue jeans, good to go. Judged on, I used to be so shy, and I was always afraid that what I was going to say might sound stupid. Again, no confidence, not believing in myself, and would clam up and maybe not talk and be super quiet and super shy. But now I'm being judged because I'm weird. I don't want to be the weird guy, not associating with anyone else. I don't want to be that quiet, like, creepy person over on the side of the room that's not talking to anybody. So now I'm being judged. So the social part has always been the struggle for me. I'm getting better as I get older. I don't drink anymore, so I don't have that to help me with that social anxiety. But I've become such a more confident person anyways, so I don't struggle in those situations as much. But look, I hope everyone had a good week. If you're watching this in real time or the day of post, it's Thursday. We're going into the weekend, and then for me and probably for many of you with kids and grandkids, Christmas break begins, so things are going to be crazy. I put my tree up. I broke out my tree that I bought last year. It was a nice, actually me and Skylar bought a white tree with blue lights in it. It's really cool. I open it up, half the lights aren't working, and I somehow lost a foot to my stool or the stand. So I have it leaning against a guitar stand, and we went out and bought just a cheap strand of colored lights to add to it. But it said it's 23 feet long. I beg to differ. It barely wrapped around the top half of the tree. And then I realized, well, the lights we bought, the cords are green. So now I got this half top of the tree covered in green wire with colored lights, and then the bottom is still just white with blue lights. It's a mess. So, but the shopping is coming along nowadays. I just do it all on Amazon, which is nice. Santa has brought some presents in while Scholar was in school that she doesn't know about. They're hidden in my closet that I'll end up wrapping, but we're moving along. I did a video on holiday stress and depression and all that stuff, and one of the ways I try to combat that is to just get it done. Just get it done, and just do the shopping, get it over with. Once I get the tree up, I'm usually pretty good. That's what I hate the most, but I can't complain. You know, we just take it out of the box, throw it together, put it up, and then it's done. So we don't even hang any kind of ornaments on the tree. Back when we were younger, maybe, but all right. Well, look, at this point, I am just rambling on. It's been a while since I've done a video here in the studio. It's a totally different feel. Like, I feel honestly more comfortable with my phone when I'm sitting in my living room or I'm sitting at the lake or whatever. It's a totally different feel for me. This feels like I'm at work. So I apologize if I seem a little stiff or less comfortable. I'm very comfortable, but it is different. You know, these bright lights in my face. I prefer doing it on my phone now, but I wanted to talk. I wanted to do a video for y'all, and this was the place to do it tonight. So that's all I got. Look, have a great weekend. I'll talk to y'all again here in a couple days, and until then, y'all have a great night. Thank you.